Hello children, all the 11th standard students, welcome back to this session of English. So last session we have just started with the first chapter of ours, that is from the Hornbill, the first unit, that is the Portrait of the Lady by Khushwant Singh. So children, that day we just had the introduction of the chapter. We were talking about Khushwant Singh and his grandmother, a very old lady, and he was describing his grandmother. So here we will go continuing with this chapter, children. Khushwant Singh's grandmother was old from the time he knew her. She had been short, fat and slightly bent. This is only the revision, children. First two paragraphs we have already done it, but still after a long time we have come back to this session. So we'll just have a revision session, okay? So here Khushwant Singh says that his grandmother was a very old lady, and from the time he remembers her, she has been the same. He's saying that I have not seen my grandmother being young or something. Yeah, it is very much real that we do not remember our grandparents in their young age, but we remember our grandparents at the very old age only. The picture of our grandparents is only that, might be we have seen them in the picture, photographs and all those things. But Khushwant Singh says that she had been short, fat and slightly bent. She wore white clothes and walked with her hand at her waist to balance her stool. That is the way of walking. The narrator and his grandmother were friends. She was not pretty but beautiful and calm like the expanse of the snow. His parents left him with her at the village home, and the grandmother took up the work of seeing that the narrator went to the school which was attached. So grandmother took to the work of seeing that the narrator went to the school which was attached to the Gurudwara. She accompanied him and sat to read the scriptures till he was through. Then both of them walked home, feeding the leftover chapatis to the village dogs. So this is the description of how Khushwant Singh, that is the narrator, is remembering his childhood children. So here he is thinking of his parents are not living with him. They have put this child with the grandmother, and the grandmother is taking care of this child, and both grandmother and the child are not in that relationship. They are very friendly kind of relationship. They are all 24/7. They are both together, and the grandmother is looking after the child. The child goes to school every day. So after going to the school, she for the whole day till his class doesn't get over, she is always with him, sitting over there. So, and then they come back both together, feeding the leftover chapatis to the village dogs. In the city, the grandmother shared a room initially with the narrator, but she could spend less time with her grandson as he went to the English school by a motor bus. So the incident might have happened that the parents have come and they took grandmother and the narrator to the city now. They are well off now and they want them to live over there in the city. So the parents have come back to the village and they took grandmother and the child to the city. And when the narrator is going, and when the narrator had come to the city, the old village culture would not be working over here. He would be going to the English medium school. He has now the grandmother is not going along with him to the school. Why? Because the entire scene is changed, because over here in the city he is having the most everything has been given to him. Even the school bus comes over here and pick and drop him at home itself. So the narrator is saying that in the city, grandmother shared a room initially with the narrator. In the very beginning, the grandmother usually stayed with him in the same room, but she could spend less time with her grandson as he went to the school by a motor bus. So she's saying now he is going to the English medium school, and now he is going to an English medium school, so he doesn't have much time. Might be he's busy with his studies and everything. The routine has as such changed. Also, there were no dogs to feed, as so she started feeding the sparrows. Now here in the city home, the grandmother is becoming lonely because she doesn't have any work to do over here in this house, because she doesn't have to go out anywhere. She is at home 24/7. So instead of now giving the chapatis, the leftover chapatis to the village dogs, now she is feeding the sparrows which comes to the home. She also spent a lot of time at spinning wheel and continuously kept saying prayers on her rosary. Okay children, rosary means what? R-O-S-A-R-Y. Rosary means, children, you might have seen the Rudraksh Mala. Might be your grandparents, while they chant the prayer or this thing, they always have a Rudraksh Mala in their hand, and they spin, that is, they keep on rotating that mala. Okay, that is called the rosary. So here she also spent time spinning the wheel and continuously saying prayers on her rosary. She didn't like what was being, she didn't like the way what was being taught in the English school. She thought that the way of teaching in this English medium school is very different, because she is a grandmother and she looks always into the values. She always thinks of why the child is not learning the values of life, which were like when you are staying with your, if you guys are staying with your grandparents, you might know that how the things goes. Like if you have a stomach pain, your mom and dad will be giving you some antibiotic this thing, or they will be hurrying up to take you to the doctor. But if your grandparents are around, they will say, okay, don't panic. That moment they will bring some hing, gharelu nuske nahi, what do you say, the home medicines, that is, they do not depend on the doctors or something. The grandparents always have something very short and sweet, and they every time, if it is being given like kada or something like that, if you are suffering from cold or fever or cough, our parents, what they do, they rush us to the hospitals nearby. No, if the parents are over, that is the grandparents are over there, they will not do the same. They will give us some gharelu nuske. They will give us some tulsi, they will give us some pudina, or they will give us some this thing haldi or ginger. They will mix all these things up and tell us to just close your eyes and drink it. So what are all these things, children? These are some things which our grandparents are very much, they are very known person for all these things. They do not go for the highly this, and they do not like the cultures nowadays. Why? Because there is no value in our cultures nowadays. We are diminishing our values, our cultures are coming down. So here the grandma also have the same feeling, that is, when the child is going to an English medium school, she doesn't like the culture of that English medium also. She says that there is nothing being taught about the scriptures, there is nothing being taught about the God, and why these people are like this? Why don't they teach something valuable to the children? So she is against how the child learns the things in the city school. Further, she was highly disturbed when she learned that he was given music lessons, as music for her was a lewd association with the beggars. She says that, why music? Music is for beggars or something, or what? Music is something which gives soothing effect to our mind. She felt lonely when the narrator went to the university and then abroad for 5 years, but she accepted her loneliness and turned more towards prayers and her spinning wheel. So the years went by, children, and grandmother is getting bored, and now the narrator is busy in his life. He is grown up, he is going to the college now, and she is accepting her loneliness. She doesn't have anything to say about, but she is accepting that loneliness. The narrator's grandmother took to feeding sparrows in the veranda of their city home. So her pastime was feeding the sparrows. Okay, every time feeds the sparrows. She would sit in the veranda breaking bread into little bits for the sparrows. Hundreds of sparrows collected round her, creating a lot of noise with her chirpings. Chirpings are the noise made by the birds, children. Okay, the spelling is chirpings, CHRRUPINGS. Chirpings of the birds is the sound made by the birds. Some came and perched on her legs, some on her shoulders, and some even sat on her head. She smiled and then she did some mock scoldings, but she never shooed them away. She had the happiest half hour of the day for her was the one spent with the sparrows. She always spent that time with the sparrows. Every afternoon she always spent that time with the sparrows, and she was very much merry during that time of this thing when the sparrows used to come to her. Children, you do not have to write anything. I will send you the summary, and if you have the link of the textbooks, children, because right now you cannot go and purchase the books out there in the stationaries, but you have been sent the links of your textbook. So if possible, if you can find these books in your mobile, that is from the Google, you can just go through. Otherwise, don't worry at all. Don't write anything right now. I'll send you the summaries nicely, and you just have to jot down. Now, writing down also is like if you do not have any notebooks, you do not have to make a fair book right now. Just write it down for your revision purpose. Write it down in your any of the rough book. Okay, after the situation gets all cool, will have another fair book for yourself. So do not hurry up writing in the fair book or search for any fair books. Whatever books you are having at your home, that's okay. You can write the summary in your rough books, and thereafter we will make the fair book once the school reopens. Okay, children? So here we come to the end of this session, children. So I'll give you the summary. Write it in your rough notebooks. Okay, I'll send you the summary in your groups. You can read the summary, brief it out. If you have any doubts, just note it down in your book, and that is, you just make a short column in your rough book or somewhere, or you can put it in the group. I'll finally read it and give it the answer for your doubts. Okay, children? So thank you for this session. Be safe, stay at home, and take care of your parents. Bye, children. Hello, children. So today we will be starting with the Vistas chapter. Today we shall start with Vistas, our Flamingo first chapter, and one poem from Flamingo, one lesson from Flamingo. We have completed it, children, and hope that you have completed your homework also. I have told you to write a poem on this pandemic situation where we are going through. If possible, write a poem and just have that ideas, and you are all talented children, you can do it. So I want this homework as soon as we open up with the school, as early as possible. Okay, Achha, now today we are starting with Vistas chapter number first, that is the third level. The third level is the name of the chapter, written by Jack Finery. Jack Finery is the name of the author, and the third level is the name of the chapter. So here the story goes, children, like this story is comprising of a person who says that, now it's ironical, children, this is luckily or unluckily, it's very ironical. The chapter is like today's situation, as we are going on, which the situation we are facing it today, the same, somewhere or the other we are having, the lesson is somewhat the same. So here there is a person called Charlie, and he says that this world is very much of confusion, very much of stress, very much of something rash, very harsh realities. The world is full of harsh realities, and he wants to escape from these harsh realities, and he wants some time to spend for himself. He says that I want some time, I need. So here goes the story, children. The third level refers to a subway of the Grand Central in New York, which was supposed to take people to Galesburg illusions of 1894. For Charlie, the third level of the station was a medium of escape from the harsh realities of modern life. It was almost an imaginary place where he could combine fantasy and reality. So, this person is seeing some fantasy. What is meant by fantasy, children? Fantasy is something we daydream. That is, we just sit with our eyes open. We dream something very good in our life. Might be it is not that true in our life, but fantasy is something which is not going to happen in our life, but we think that maybe, हो सकता है, might be this can happen in my life, but that might not be true. But सोचने में क्या जाता है? That is the kind of thing he is saying. So he's saying that this Charlie, he thinks that he wants to run away from the harsh realities of modern life. It was almost an imaginary place where he could combine fantasy and reality. As the story progresses, we realize that his accidental arrival at the third level was actually imaginary. This is actually imaginary. He is just imagining. The whole entire story is something, children, it's just a fantasy. It doesn't have any reality in this. Okay, the story is really imaginary. There is no nothing that can help you out. It's the story and read it out. That's it. As the story progresses, we realize that this accidental arrival of the third level was actually imaginary. He bought old currencies, but he could never find the third level again. Now, he is thinking of, while going to the third level, he should have some currencies also in his hand. See, to what level has he reached that he wants. The level of imagination is such that he has already started collecting the coins, for he wants to reach there to the third level, and he thinks that I'll go there and spend the money over there. He bought old currencies, but he could never find the third level again because it is actually doesn't exist. Okay, so modern life is full of insecurity, stress and fear. So people are always looking for some escape. So he's saying that modern life is so full of insecurity. So the people doesn't want to live life like whatever we do, the next moment is something which we are not secured of. So he's saying that modern life is full of insecurity, stress and fear. So people are always looking for some escape route. They resort to some leisure time activities or hobbies to balance the dullness of their life and to pass time in a fruitful and pleasant manner. So this line might be, children, like we are going through the same situation now. Like the modern life, is it not true, children? It is written that modern life is full of insecurity, stress and fear. So the people are now always looking for some escape, and they resort. The resort means they are finding some way to have some leisure time. Leisure time, Leisure. Leisure time means some time with the family, or leisure time means full time which we do not have to take any tensions regarding anything. Just have to have fun in their life is called the leisure time activities. That is something or the other which we do not do in our routine, but to do something other than our routine and can enjoy our life is called the leisure time activities, or hobbies to balance the dullness of their life. So he says that do some hobbies that is not even a routine of our life. Do something different once in a week or once in a month, that you are again different from your routine. Somewhere you have to push yourself to somewhere which gives you a reason to your living.
It is not that every time you have to work for, every time you have to earn for, or every time you have to get busy with whatever you are doing. You are human, you have the right to do something or the other which is away from your routine, so that your mind, your mental state comes to a standstill somewhere and you can be normal person. So he says that Charlie talks to his psychiatrist friend now. He's talking to his psychiatrist friend whose name is Sam about the third level that he found. So his friend who is a psychiatrist and he is named as Sam. So he says all the things about the third level to Sam also. His friend Sam called it as a waking dream with waking dream wish fulfillment. So while hearing out his story, what Charlie had told Sam told that it was nothing but it was a waking dream, wish fulfillment. So he says that it is something which a man goes through, that is he wants to have in that kind of his life in his life, but it is not possible. So he's just daydreaming, he's just waking dream, and this is called the wish fulfillment. Charlie collected stamps as a temporary refuge from reality. So he's collecting the stamps also. So he says that so he can also, while he goes up to that third level, he can do something or the other over there also. So he says that I will do some stamp collecting work over there also. Louisa is the name of his wife. Louisa was worried about what happened to Charlie at the third level, so she didn't want him to look for the third level anymore. Charlie tried to find the third level again, but after a while he stopped and went back to stamp collection. So he said that Louisa, that is his wife, was also worried about what is he going through, why he wants to go through this third level, and what is the third level. So she, being the wife, she understands something, and she said, okay, you do whatever you want. So Charlie tried to find the third level, but after a while he stopped. He also stopped thinking of the fact that there is no third level. I think I am just imagining, he thought for himself. Charlie collected first day covers, and among the oldest ones, that is he had the habit of collecting stamps, okay, and there was a letter among that oldest collection of his, and he found an envelope which contained a letter and bore the address of his grandfather. So he found this envelope, and the address on that envelope was of his grandfather. It was written on July 18, 1894. The postmark showed the picture of President Garfield. Usually the first day covers had blank papers in them, but this one had a letter which was addressed to him. In the letter, Sam had informed Charlie that he was living on the third level. He also had invited Charlie and his wife to keep looking for the third level, as if life was worth living there. So what is it, children? There is Charlie had got an envelope, and that envelope bore the grandfather's address, and this was the date was very old, that was on July 1894, and he said that this grandfather had invited Charlie and his wife to come up to third level, and said that the life at the third level is worth living. You both come over there. They checked that Sam had bought $800 worth of old style currencies from the store, where Charlie bought $300 worth old style currencies. So these people are collecting the currencies also. So in the story, there is an intersection of time and space. What is intersection, children? This is a mathematical term. Intersection means there is a common point which says the intersection of time and space over here. In English, we have the time and space over here. In mathematical term, intersection means there is a two line intersecting, and the middle line intersection is called, middle point is called the intersection. So here the intersection is of the time and space. The first two levels of Grand Central Station were in the present.
Okay, the first two levels. This is the third level we are talking about. So the imaginary first two levels of Grand Central Station were in the present, while the third existed in 1890s. Charlie and his wife lived in the present moment, yet they rushed to get the old currencies to go to Galesburg in 1894. The old architect witnessed by Charlie on the third level was different from the modern architect on the first and the second level. So here are the architects also, children, who shows the timings of the first level and the third level. Okay, so the old architect witnessed the first and the second level. The people on the first and the second level were dressed like him. So he is saying that the people in the first level and the second level were dressed like him, but the people in the third level were dressed in the clothes of 1890s. The name of the newspaper is The World, that Charlie saw with a vendor on the third level was dated June 11, 1894. So this overlapped with his real-time existence, and also the letter mailed by his psychiatrist friend Sam was mailed to Charlie's grandfather on 18 July 1984 and is received by Charlie in the present. So the story proves that illogical thinking may not be useless, as it could have a large bearing on the future projections. Fantasies which were considered far-fetched may become reality in the present or future. It wouldn't be incorrect to say that a time may come when the railway stations would be fitted with a time machine that would travel into different time zones as possible. So here, children, the lesson comes to an end. Truly speaking, the story is entirely the imaginary story where a husband and a wife and his psychiatrist friend Sam is helping these guys out to travel through this imaginary world. And here at the end paragraph, the end paragraph says that, might be, children, whenever you dream something which is into your life, you have to dream something, that is, whatever you dream through in your life, children, the first level of success, the first step of success is not the hard work you put in. The first state or the first step of your success is the dream. That is, what do you want to become in your life? What is the destination of your life? What is the ambition of your life? All these things, if you have that kind of mentality, that is, you want to reach somewhere, and every day you say to yourself that, nah, I am going to do something in my life. I want to become this, and I want to work hard on this. So every day you are pushing your thoughts into your mind, saying that you are going to do this, and finally one day this happens, children. This really happens. Might be this person is traveling into that Grand Central in New York. So he might be thinking someday, somewhere, as the author is saying, somewhere the day will come when the railway stations would be fitted with the time machine, and you can travel through these time zones whenever you wish to, or whenever you want to fulfill where to go and when to go. So today your time is like, you are if you are financially stable, you can go anywhere in the world. But if you want to just go into the imaginary world of yours, time machine, if you can invent a time machine, if you are doing something like that in your life, you intend to do, that is the first thought comes to your mind. Everything has, first thing is not the success which you get into your hands, children. Everything is only dependent on how you pull yourself to that level, pull yourself to that destination, or what ambition you have in your mind. You can reach to that level of ambition, or you can reach to that level of destination only when you have thought of reaching there. You have to do something in your life. You want to do something in your life. And the first thing what the mind does is reading your mind. Reading your mind is the first step towards your success. So this is a short story, might be very imaginary, children, but this imagination, this fantasies can become a reality into your life only if you work hard. So this chapter comes to the end. So we have finished with the unit 1 of Vistas, the third level. So I'll send you the summary, children. I'll send you the summary, and today's grammar portion also I'll send you with the answers, so that you can just sit and revise every day. Okay, now onwards I'm not going to give you the only questions. I'll give you the question and the answers of the grammar session, so that you can sit and learn it on the daily basis. Okay, children. So this here today you're having the homework of just reading this summary of this chapter and writing the transformation of sentences. Okay, children. So this is the completion of today's session. So bye and take care. Be careful.